Alright, this is a Black Scissor Productions, and I'm battling my friend Colin, who are also known on YouTube as WhiteCharizard. And we've been battling ever since I ever got onto YouTube. So he's like a good long time rival. So he starts out with Bronzong, and I start out with Azelf, and I flamethrower thinking he would hypnosis, so I try to do as much damage as I could to it. And it does do a good amount of damage to it. So I thought he would hypnosis, was hoping for the miss, but he doesn't even, so he gyro balls, and I was hoping I'd survive. And I do survive. So I thought he'd leave Bronzong in, and I just kill it off with flamethrower since there was nothing else this Bronzong could possibly do. So I flamethrower at it, which was so dumb and so reckless. But I thought he would switch into like a Heatron after, like thinking about it a little bit, but he doesn't, and he switches into Feraligatr. So I do hurt it, but not a good amount. And he probably figured I was gonna explode, and I knew he was gonna think I was gonna explode, so I'd rather just hurt whatever Pokemon comes out. So I Psychic, and he does switch, thinking I was gonna explode, and he goes into Golem, and I Psychic at it, and this mess so messed up. He survives with 1 HP. That's so gay. But whatever, what can I do? And now basically I'm just like stuck there. I'm gonna kill myself anyway. So I just energy ball at it, and he just gets a crit, and which is completely useless, and Life Orb kills me. So I switch into Alakazam, hoping he'd switch into his Feraligatr, and I was gonna energy ball at it. So he does switch into the Feraligatr, so I was gonna energy ball now. I should have actually thought about it a little bit, and I end up energy balling at a stupid Jolteon. Doesn't even do half to it. So I thought he would switch out or something. I wasn't really sure, but I knew he would probably T-Bolt if he would stay in. So I switched into my special defense ball, Heatron, and he doesn't even T-Bolt. He actually just wishes. So I knew he would switch into Bronzong. I mean, Bronzong has less HP, but now that I have Heatron out, he'll probably switch it to Feraligatr or just stay in. But I doubt he'd stay in. So I didn't want to Earth Power, because if it was on Bronzong, I'd hit nothing. So I just Fire Blast, just pretty gay, and now this Pokemon doesn't even do that much damage to it. But I do get the Burn Hash, which was good, and is good for me because I knew after one Dragon Dance I'd survive. Even if he Dragon Dance and used Waterfall, I'd survive. So I stayed in, which is probably weird for him, but he probably knew he would survive whether I stayed in or not. So I just Earth Power at it, hoping it would do more than it did. Barely did anything. So just like I stayed in there hoping that I would survive the waterfall. Now I wasn't too sure, so I did lose a lot of HP. And I stay in anyway, and he waterfalls, and I survive with 14 HP, which I know he must have been pissed off about. And I ended off killing it with the Earth Power. And also, now Heatron had the same fate as itself and kills itself with Life Orb. That's great. So I go into Weavile, and he goes into his Dragoon, which is his Dragonite. So I knew I wasn't gonna fake out knowing Inner Focus, so I Ice Punched away, and he got a little mad because he forgot to put Yachi Berry on it. So I do kill it, which kind of messed it up for him because now Weavile is there for sweeping. So then he switches into Bronzong, and I wanted just to experiment and see if Weavile would be able to kill off Bronzong with that much HP. And it turns out it does with a Night Slash with no crit. so I don't even get a crit at it, and I still kill it off, so that was good for me. Then he switches into a Venusaur and says that he knows that an Ice Punch cannot kill it off. One hit KO. So I don't know much about Venusaur, and I don't know its EV spread, and I don't know Venusaur at all, but I decide to Ice Punch at it anyway because I don't really see Venusaurs. So I Ice Punch at it, and I do get to one hit KO it. So there's Weavile for the Sweepage, 3 Pokemon. It's just like an all-star. And now he switches into his last Pokemon, Jolteon. And I knew he'd T-Ball, and I knew I wouldn't survive. So I switch into Cresselia, and Cresselia takes the hit really good. And it takes it real good. So I decide to Calm Mind and at least stock up and just be able to kill it off with one Calm Mind and a Psychic. But he does actually fake tear me, which I wouldn't expect, knowing he probably knew I was gonna Calm Mind. So I was like, damn, that sucks. So he T-bolts at me, and it just passes half and goes into yellow, but with leftovers it increases to green again. So I'm still in there, and Cresselia takes it still good, even after fake tears, but it did have a Calm Mind, and I Psychic and doesn't kill off Jolteon. So he has nothing to lose but hope that he would survive this and fake tear and hopefully kill off Cresselia. So he fake tears, and I Psychic and kill him, and that's basically the game. I won 4-0. It was a good match, though. It's always a good match, and I guess I'm leading in the series now, Colin, but I do want a rematch because I do know you're way better than that. Alright, sub for me, sub for Colin, go to PokeFanZat, and